এই ক্লাসে লুসি পোম থেকে সমস্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ এমসিকিউ নিয়ে আলোচনা করব। ক্লাস 9-10 এর সিলেবাসের অন্তর্গত যে 5টা লুসি পোম রয়েছে সেই 5টা লুসি পোম থেকে সমস্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ এমসিকিউ নিয়ে এই ক্লাসে আলোচনা করে দেব। আশা করি এই ক্লাসটা করার পরে লুসি পোম থেকে যে কোনো ধরনেরই এমসিকিউ আসুক না কেন তোমাদের কারোর আর কোথাও কোনো অসুবিধা হওয়ার কথা নয়। ইংলিশে এসএলএসটি 2025 এর প্রস্তুতির এই সিরিজে আমরা কভার করব ক্লাস 9-10 এর সিলেবাসের অন্তর্গত সমস্ত টেক্সটের উপরে এমসিকিউ বেসড প্র্যাকটিস সেট, যেখানে প্রতিটি টেক্সট থেকে সমস্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ এমসিকিউ গুলো আমি আলোচনা করে দেব। তো সরাসরি কোশ্চেন আনসার আলোচনাতে যাওয়ার আগে বলে রাখি, যারা যারা এই চ্যানেলে নতুন কাইন্ডলি চ্যানেলটা সাবস্ক্রাইব করবে এবং ভিডিওটা ভালো লাগলে একটা লাইক ও শেয়ারের পাশাপাশি অবশ্যই একটা হাইপ করে দেবে। এছাড়া ধারাবাহিকতা বজায় রেখে ডেইলি মক টেস্টের জন্য তোমরা সরাসরি আমার অনলাইন মক টেস্ট ব্যাচে জয়েন করতে পারো। অনলাইন মক টেস্ট ব্যাচের লিংক এই ভিডিওর ডেসক্রিপশন বক্সে দেওয়া থাকছে। এছাড়াও প্রত্যেক টেক্সটের উপরে ডিটেইল নোটস এবং এমসিকিউ বেসড প্র্যাকটিস সেটের জন্য তোমরা সরাসরি ডেসক্রিপশন বক্সে দেওয়া হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ নাম্বারে কন্ট্যাক্ট করতে পারো। এছাড়াও এসএলএসটি সংক্রান্ত কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকলে বা ইংলিশ রিলেটেড কোনো কোয়ারি থাকলে এবং আজকের এই ক্লাসের পিডিএফটি পেতে হলে তোমরা সরাসরি আমার টেলিগ্রাম গ্রুপে বা হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ চ্যানেলে যুক্ত হয়ে যেতে পারো। দুটোর লিংকই এই ভিডিওর ডেসক্রিপশন বক্সে আমি দিয়ে রাখছি। তো এই ক্লাসের এমসিকিউ আলোচনাতে ডিরেক্ট চলে যাচ্ছি। কোয়েশ্চেন নাম্বার 1 দেখো, ইন she dwelt among the untrodden ways, which of the following best represents the symbolic meaning of a violet by a mossy stone? Options দেখো, innocence hidden in the mundane, natural decay over time, passionate love and desire, the glory of public fame. কোনটা হবে রাইট অ্যান্সার? এক্ষেত্রে রাইট অ্যান্সার হবে অপশন এ, ইনোসেন্স হিডেন ইন দ্য মান্ডেন। মানে দ্য ভায়োলেট বাই এ মসি স্টোন সিম্বলাইজেস লুসিস কোয়াইট বিউটি অ্যান্ড অবসকিউরিটি। তাই অপশন এ হয়ে যাবে রাইট অ্যান্সার। নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেন, হুইচ অফ দ্য ফলোইং বেস্ট ডেসক্রাইবস ওয়ার্ডসওয়ার্থস ইউজ অফ নেচার ইন দ্য লুসি পোমস? অ্যাজ আ টুল ফর পলিটিক্যাল কমেন্টারি, as a metaphor for Lucy's inner emotional world, as a representation of industrial progress, as an antagonist to human suffering. Option B হবে right answer, as a metaphor for Lucy's inner emotional world, কারণ nature often reflects Lucy's emotions or embodies her spirit. Next question, in Strange Fits of Passion have I known what is the structural significance of the final line? Option কি রয়েছে দেখো, it marks a shift from fantasy to memory, it transitions the tone from romantic to tragic, it reveals the speaker's dream, it is a literal account of Lucy's death. এখানে রাইট অ্যান্সার হয়ে যাবে it transitions the tone from romantic to tragic. Option B will be the right answer, কারণ the sudden shift introduces morality into what was a romantic meditation. সেটাই আমরা ফাইনাল লাইনে দেখতে পেয়েছিলাম। ফাইনাল লাইন ছিল, ও মার্সি টু মাইসেলফ আই ক্রাইড ইফ লুসি শুড বি ডাইড। এটাই ছিল স্ট্রেঞ্জ ফিটস অফ প্যাশনের শেষ যে লাইন। এই লাইনটা এখানে হবে না। নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেন, ইন A slumber did my spirit seal, which poetic device dominates the final stanza? Synecdoche, oxymoron, irony, personification. অবশ্যই এখানে irony হবে, কারণ the speaker's calm acceptance of Lucy's death creates a deep sense of irony considering the preceding emotional investment. Option C will be the right answer. Next question, what is a unifying thematic concern across the Lucy poem? The impact of war on rural life, the loss of innocence through industrialization, the fragility and permanence of love, the power of dreams and prophecy. Option C হবে right answer, the fragility and permanence of love, কারণ the poems collectively explore love, loss and the fragility. Next, in the Lucy poems, Lucy is often described with minimal detail. What literary purpose does this serve? লুসির যে একটা মিনিমাল ডিটেইল দেওয়া রয়েছে তার উদ্দেশ্য কি ছিল? It allows readers to project their own emotions, it emphasizes her fame, it criticizes her lack of personality, it is a technique to mask the poet's disinterest. Option A হবে right answer, it allows readers to project their own emotions, কারণ her ambiguity allows her to become a universal symbol of lost beauty and innocence. Next question number 7. Which of the following best reflects the romantic ideal as portrayed in Lucy poems? Reverence for classical antiquity, celebration of scientific reason, emphasis on the inner world and solitude, glorification of war heroes. Option C will be the right answer. Karon the poem focuses on solitude, emotion and nature, hallmarks of romanticism. Option C, emphasis on the inner world and solitude. Next question. How does Wordsworth's use of meter in Strange Fits of Passion Have I Known reinforce its themes? The irregular meter mimics the disordered mind of the speaker. The steady iambic tetrameter mirrors the rhythm of the horse ride and emotional build-up. The meter breaks entirely to mark Lucy's death. The use of dactylic meters creates comic relief. Option B hobe right answer. Karon the iambic tetrameter gives a regular, almost hypnotic rhythm paralleling the speaker's journey and emotional tension. Next question. Some critics argue that Lucy is a construct of Wordsworth's imagination rather than a historical figure. Which of the following best supports this theoretical interpretation? The poem's consistent reference to historical events, the speaker's omniscient point of view, the absence of specific biological detail and the dreamlike tone, the presence of Lucy's family in later poems. Option C will be the right answer. The absence of specific biological details and the dreamlike tone. Karon Lucy remains a poetic abstraction here. Her lack of detail supports the idea of her being an imaginative ideal. Next question. In the context of the Lucy poems, the untrodden ways are most likely a metaphor for the geographic isolation of rural England, the societal neglect of rural women, the speaker's unfamiliarity with Lucy's inner world, the spiritual wilderness beyond human understanding. Option B will be the right answer. কারণ এই phrase symbolizes social invisibility, especially of women like Lucy. Next. From a new historicist perspective, the Lucy poems might be read as a nostalgic idealization of rural purity amidst urban expansion, a direct protest against monarchy, a celebration of aristocratic heritage, an allegory for the French Revolution. Option A হয়ে যাবে right answer. কারণ Lucy poems reflect romanticism's longing for pre-industrial simplicity. Option A. Next question. The poem A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal ends with a depiction of Lucy as part of the natural world. This transformation is best interpreted as her eternal punishment, a romantic merging of human and nature indicating transcendence, the poet's rejection of nature, a symbol of reincarnation. Option B hobe right answer. Karon Lucy becomes rolled round in Earth's diurnal course, echoing Wordsworth's belief in the unity of man and nature. Option B will be the right answer. Next question. Which of the following literary paradoxes is central to the Lucy poems? Public fame versus private grief, growth through spiritual decay, life affirmed through meditations on death, urban light versus rural shadow. Option C hobe right answer. Growth through spiritual decay. Karon the poems find beauty, permanence and meaning in the face of death and loss. Next question. In 3 years she grew in sun and shower, nature is personified and speaks of raising Lucy. What philosophical tension does this introduce? Between egoism and altruism, between determinism and free will, between human sacrifice and natural design, between empirical science and myth. Option B hobe right answer. Karon nature plans Lucy's growth, raising the tension between predestination and individual agency. Next question. The line "She shall be sportive as the fawn from 3 years" implies what about nature's role in Lucy's character? Options. Nature aims to erase her individuality. Nature wants Lucy to embody animalistic instincts. Nature idealizes a blend of innocence and instinct. Nature rejects Lucy's emotional development. দেখো এখানে অপশন সি হয়ে যাবে রাইট অ্যান্সার. The imagery shows innocence, spontaneity and purity. Next question. How does the speaker's sudden vision of Lucy's death in Strange Fits of Passion challenge romantic ideals of harmony with nature? By suggesting that nature is indifferent to human suffering, by glorifying Lucy's death, By criticizing pastoral tradition, by replacing nature with industrial imagery. The moment introduces sublime dread, revealing the cruel neutrality of nature. Option A hobe right answer. Next question, what is the primary function of the moon in Strange Feats of Passion Have I Known? Mooner function ki chilo? To symbolize divine fate, to provide a navigational guide, to reflect the speaker's mental descent, to represent societal norms. Right answer hobe option C. Next question, which of these is a metatextual concern of the Lucy poems? The commodification of poetry, the construction of subjectivity through lyric voice, naki syntax of pastoral dialogue, naki the mockery of romantic convention. Option B hobe right answer. Karon the poems are deeply reflective of how the lyric I constructs both Lucy and the speaker's identity. So option B. Next question, in I Travelled Among Unknown Men, the phrase unknown men most plausibly symbolizes foreigners in Germany who isolated the poet, industrial capitalist who corrupted English soil, the poet's estrangement from English identity until tested by exile, the masculine forces in Lucy's life. Option C হয়ে যাবে right answer. এটার দ্বারা বোঝাচ্ছে the poet's realization of national and emotional identity through absence. Next question, which romantic paradox is most clearly dramatized in this poem? মানে ওই I Travelled Among Unknown Men. Union with nature leads to alienation. Emotional proximity requires geographical distance. National pride must be expressed through silence. Death immortalizes the beloved. Option B হয়ে যাবে right answer. Next, the speaker's declaration that he loved England more upon leaving it invokes with major romantic theme. Rejection of rationalism, sublime memory, emotional nationalism, self-sacrifice in revolution. এক্ষেত্রে right answer হয়ে যাবে option C. কারণ the poem equates patriotism with personal emotion, merging love of women and land, which is central to romantic nationalism. Next question, which structural technique does Wordsworth use to delay the revolution of Lucy's death in this poem? Frame narrative, enjambment and inversion, retrospective irony and emotional build-up, stream of consciousness. Option C hobe right answer. Next question, from a feminist theoretical lens, Lucy's depiction in this poem might be critique for over-sexualization of rural women, silencing and objectification through idealization, aggressive defiance of patriarchal norms, subversion of domestic expectation. Over-sexualization তো দেখানো হচ্ছে না. Option B এক্ষেত্রে হয়ে যাবে right answer. Next question, what rhetorical function does the line nor will I quit thy shore a second time serve? It resolves the speaker's inner conflict with the vow. It introduces irony about future exile. It challenges imperial ideology. It reaffirms God's providence. Option A এক্ষেত্রে হয়ে যাবে right answer. Next question, the poem's frequent shift between England and Lucy best illustrate which of the following? England and Lucy are interchangeable as lost ideals. The poet cannot distinguish between public and private suffering. Lucy is a symbol for England as feminine, nurturing and tragic. Lucy's political belief align with the poet's. Option C hobe right answer. Lucy is a symbol for England as a feminine, nurturing and tragic. Next question, which of the following is a credible post-colonial critique of I Travelled Among Unknown Men? The poem celebrates English dominance through Lucy's lineage. It reflects a colonial nostalgia that centers England as superior to the unknown. It advocates for resistance to English cultural hegemony. It satirizes the poet's ethnocentrism. Option B এক্ষেত্রে হয়ে যাবে right answer. Next question, what is the effect of the poet's use of iambic tetrameter in this poem? It mirrors the rhythm of a military march. It creates a childlike tone that trivializes grief. It enforces a restrained, mournful musicality appropriate to elegy. It disrupts syntactic balance for shock effect. Option C hobe right answer. The iambic tetrameter gives the poem a measured and intimate rhythm, reinforcing its quiet elegiac tone. Option C. Next question. What is the following is not a dominant theme in the Lucy poems? Mortality, national identity, industrial labor, solitude. দেখো ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল লেবারটা এখানে ছিল না। অপশন সি হবে রাইট অ্যান্সার। নেক্সট, what central theme unites all 5 Lucy poems? The glory of classical civilization, the rise and fall of British power, the fleeting beauty of life and permanence of loss, the corrupting power of love. Unite করেছিল পাঁচটাকে। Option C. The fleeting beauty of life and permanence of loss. Option C will be the right answer. Next, the theme of unrecognized beauty and isolation is most explicitly developed in which poem? এই চারটার কোনটাতে এটা দেখা গিয়েছে? অবশ্যই সে dwelt among the untrodden ways. Option C. Next, the Lucy poems were primarily published in which collection? Prelude, poems in 2 volumes, lyrical ballads, descriptive sketches. Lyrical ballad এ পাবলিশ হয়েছিল। Option C will be the right answer. Lyrical ballad এর সেকেন্ড এডিশনে 1800 এডিশন। Next, how many poems are generally accepted under the label Lucy poems? 3, 5, 7, 10. B 5 পাঁচটা লুসি পোম আমরা দেখেছিলাম। যদিও এগুলো তিনি আলাদা আলাদা আকারে পাবলিশ করেছিলেন, তিনি কিন্তু ক্যাটাগরাইজ করে যান। দ্য পোম she dwelt among the untrodden ways follows which rhyme scheme? ABBA, ABCB, AABB, ABAB. Option B will be the right answer. ABCB. Next, which meter is most commonly employed in the Lucy poems? Dactylic hexameter, iambic tetrameter and trimeter, trochaic octameter, blank verse. এক্ষেত্রে আমরা দেখেছিলাম যে iambic tetrameter এবং trimeter. Option B. Next question. The use of simple regular meter and rhyme in the Lucy poems is intended to satirize the rigidity of formal poetry, make the poems accessible to rural readers, mimic the rhythm of natural speech and reflect emotional sincerity, align with French neoclassical poetic standards. Option C হয়ে যাবে এক্ষেত্রে right answer. Next question. What is the predominant setting of the Lucy poems? Fictional medieval castle, the industrial cities of England, the rural landscape of the Lake District and England's countryside, নাকি ancient Greece? Option C will be the right answer. Next, the consistent use of rural imagery in the Lucy poems serves to reflect Lucy's spiritual detachment from the speaker, emphasize the class hierarchy of romantic England, contrast with Lucy's urban origin, reinforce the themes of purity, simplicity and transience. Option D হবে এক্ষেত্রে right answer. Next, in she dwelt among the untrodden ways, the violet by a mossy stone symbolizes Lucy's unfulfilled intellectual potential, nature's opposition to human achievement, hidden beauty and unnoticed existence, নাকি fertility and sensuality. এখানে হবে option C. Next, in a slumber did my spirit seal, the phrase no motion has she now, no force symbolically express Lucy's mental detachment, the speaker's release from emotional turmoil, Lucy's absorption into the eternal rhythms of nature, the mechanical nature of death. এক্ষেত্রে option C আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি হবে right. Next question. The moon in Strange Fits of Passion Have I Known can be interpreted symbolically as sign of insanity, detached observer of human love, a guide toward emotional awareness and mortality, a religious emblem of purity. Option C হবে right. Next question. From the historical context of Romanticism, Lucy's character can best be understood as a political allegory for pre-revolutionary France, a critic of Enlightenment rationalism through emotional naturalism, a satire on Gothic heroines, a symbol of industrialized femininity. Option B will be the right answer. A critic of Enlightenment rationalism through emotional naturalism. Next question. The speaker's emotional awakening in I Travelled Among Unknown Men is contextually linked to English nationalism, post-French Revolution, Wordsworth's rural poverty, the collapse of the Church of England, নাকি Napoleonic military propaganda. English nationalism, post-French Revolution. Option A. Next question. Contextually, the phrase she shall be sportive as the fawn in 3 years she grew reflects what larger romantic concept. Nature as a moral and spiritual guide, man's dominance over nature, the danger of sensual indulgence, the fear of feminine freedom. Option A will be the right answer. Nature as a moral and spiritual guide. Next question. The Lucy poems consistently blurred the line between life and death, leading to a conceptual reflection on the cyclical nature of agricultural life, the rational immortality of the soul, the continuity between individual identity and nature, the rejection of religious dogma. Option C hobe right. Next question. The conceptual dualism of absence and presence in the Lucy poems serves primarily to highlight poetic narcissism, contrast physical death with spiritual permanence, criticize English class structures, demonstrate Wordsworth's atheism. Option B hobe right answer. Next question. The idealization of Lucy without specific features, মানে age, class, look, allow her to function conceptually as ghostly antagonist, critic of realism, universal symbol of ephemeral beauty, coded revolutionary figure. Option C. Next question. Taken conceptually, the Lucy poems reflect Wordsworth's effort to construct a new political ideology, build an epic mythos of womanhood, reclaim emotion and imagination as authentic modes of knowing, replace classical forms with modernist irony. Option C will be the right answer. Next question. In 3 years he grew in sun and shower, nature says Lucy will be a lady of my own. Conceptually, this phrase symbolizes Lucy's class elevation through divine selection, nature's possessive nurturing, and the romantic feminization of the landscape, the speaker's desire to control Lucy's development, a loss of religious structure in favor of maternal nature. Option B will be the right answer here. Karon nature here is personified and maternal, and Lucy becomes a symbol of harmonious femininity shaped by natural rhythms, embodying the romantic ideal. Next question. In strange fits of passion have I known, the descent of the moon is symbolically aligned with unconscious mind moving toward insight, literal eclipse representing divine punishment, Lucy's physical decay, time passing in the industrial world. Option A will be the right answer. Unconscious mind moving toward insight. And the last question. The phrase I had no human fears, from a slumber did my spirit still, is almost accurately symbolic of emotional numbness caused by grief, mystical detachment from worldly pain, the poet's belief in pre-conscious of ethnic state, enlightenment, denial of mortality. এটা symbolic হচ্ছে the poet's belief in pre-conscious or ethnic state. কারণ this line reflects the romantic yearning for a state of pure being, free from temporality, similar to a pre-lapsarian বা pre-fall consciousness. অপশন সি হবে রাইট অ্যান্সার। তো এই ছিল লুসি পোম থেকে সমস্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ এমসিকিউস। আশা করি সবাই বুঝতে পেরেছো, কারো কোথাও অসুবিধে নেই। ভিডিওটা কার কেমন লাগলো জানাবে, ভালো লাগলে অবশ্যই একটা লাইক ও শেয়ার করে দেবে। এই ক্লাসটা তাহলে এখানেই শেষ হচ্ছে, দেখা হচ্ছে পরবর্তী প্র্যাকটিস সেট নিয়ে পরের ক্লাসে।